Chili Pain. I'm a huge lore nerd. It's one of the things that I love the most in WoW. Did you guys like the lore of Dragonflight? Cheers from Chili. Hey, Chile! I love you, buddy.
Hola!
But that's the extent to the positivity in answering this question.
No, it sucked. Dragonflight Lord sucked. I will say my piece shortly.
Sure,
we made a couple of videos on this subject in some capacity. It had localized cool moments. The Blue Dragonflight story was pretty cool.
Side stories
were pretty cool. The beginning was interesting enough, but they didn't really capitalize all that. Overall, I felt it was very toned down. It was very safe. They didn't want to risk anything. Everything was too cuddly, too cute, too careful, too let me hug me. There was no like, fuck yeah, let's kill this.
We will never be slaves!
You do some like, there was no epicness, there was no badassery, there was
Chromie hugging Nostromo's leg.
Yeah, basically. No, Nostromo. I hate that shit. It's good to have that in some doses, but I felt like that was like the overwhelmingly arc of it was the overwhelmingly dominating arc within Dragonflight. I feel they really missed the mark in a dragon-focused expansion where badassery should have been all over the place, all right? So, as much as I also love the Warcraft lore, not the recent one.
Yeah, the lore doesn't seem to keep in touch with how they're designing the game for the existing player base, because the existing player base are mostly fans of the darker, edgier version of WoW, the Wrath of the Lich King boys.
But see, that makes us sound like fucking emo kids looking to be very rebellious. No, it's not about that. If you read like fantasy books, if you read Tolkien, if you read the old Warcraft books even, everything has its place. It has its logic. You have your badassery, you have your edginess, you have your very soulful moments. Again, I'm not talking about humping fucking Nosdormu's leg. That's not... Listen, I'm talking about emotional, like soulful scenarios, like...
Live another day. Without armor.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me give you an example. The Jaina travel of pain in BFA. Her whole storyline in BFA, I almost shed a tear. It was soulful. It had emotion. It had impact. So not always edginess, but if you're gonna go for this more sentimental, more, let's say, lay down, chill, whatever, approach it with a little bit of heart and soul, not that cuteness and bullshit all around. That's all I'm saying. So edginess is nice, it's cool, and I really miss some badassery, some bombastic, epic shit happening. And I'm also missing the soulful part, the emotional part, like when Varian died.
It's
when
hard
Tyrion
to have
died,
the soulful parts with characters that you don't care about. And it's
exactly.
hard to
yes,
care
Flame,
about.
give this man a raise.
It's hard to care about characters when they're not real. Like if they suspend your disbelief. If you go into a fantasy world,
they suspend your disbelief. Now you have to note that, kids, because you don't hear them talk like that every day.
It's big words I've read today on Wikipedia. When you go into a fantasy world, right? You want your disbelief to be suspended. You don't want to like question everything, right? You don't want, dude. This isn't real life.
Yeah.
Towers don't float, right? That's what that means.
Suspend my disbelief.
And when you go into a dragon, oh my god, the dragons constructed this towery city and they've dominated the world with their magic, but then you have like little kids, you're like, hey, like it breaks you apart from that immersion, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I thought the dragons were like savage. They killed each other, and now
they're very
because you have
cute.
Because you have the Yagira giants that hunt dragons, and you see dragons impaled on their poles and stuff. That's that doesn't really correlate with the rest of it. It's like why do you want to be friends with those? They just,
well, to be fair, I'm not going to like trash on the Dragonflight story as I would have trashed, and I did, on the Shadowlands story. At least Dragonflight had the safe zone where I wasn't really disappointed. I was just meh.
It's not enough for us.
I think like what saved Dragonflight for us in terms of like not being that affected by the Layman story was that the game was good. It was much better game overall, and much better impact, and you wanted to play the game more and more. But I'm going to tell you now, I think I speak for the both of us, man, we do miss on just getting lost in the story of WoW. That hasn't happened for so long.
Like you said, the only time that happened personally for me in Dragonflight was at the beginning while I was leveling. Like
discovering,
that was
meeting
the
new races, very cool. Yes,
vanilla that I felt that way.
It was that vanilla
They
feeling.
did that well because fun. Ironically enough, you didn't actually engage with the overarching story. You met the centaurs, you met the Tuskars,
and the little stories over there. They had the goofiness, sure, of course, but it was that sense of discoverability that kind of made it work. So.
And the problem was that even with BFA, a lot of the story has started to become retconned, and it felt like, these characters don't feel like the characters that I knew so far. And when you have enough of this, it turns into what Shadowlands is. So sure, that's probably why they took a little bit more safe, because whether or not the Shadowlands story was probably darker, was probably edgier, or whatever.
Bullshit.
But it was
the Shadowlands story was two blue nipples. That was it. And those blue nipples were suspended in their disbelief.
And that's English. We got him. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't know about Martian too much, but I always loved WoW mostly. First because of the story, and then because of the gameplay.
Dude, when I played PvP back in the day, I used to write little short stories of my adventures.
Oh,
that's how much I loved it, and I that was because the world was given it to me. So even though I was playing arenas, I was playing a lot of BGs and open world PvP and dueling, and in front of like Stormwind or Ogrimmar, and that like. The stories around me gave me the vibe to like create my own little universe in WoW. Yeah, I missed that. This is not we're derailing here, right?
Yeah, but that's basically it.
Yeah. What an answer.
The story has taken a back foot in terms of like the game. Luckily, WoW has killer fucking gameplay. Because who would be to like? Sorry for me, I haven't really cared for it for about like 4 years now.